What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Double Money event week, as well as the vehicle and property discounts. This week is for January 2nd through January 8th, 2020. So happy New Year, guys. We're at the beginning of January, the new year. So the current casino podium vehicle is the Pfister Comet Safari. This car is normally about $700,000. It is in the sports class and is a fun off-roader slash rally car. But the SC Sport is just a lot better for rally racing, which is what you'd mainly use the Comet Safari for. But it does offer a lot of customization if you've been wanting one, so I guess now would be the time to get it for free from the podium. I mean, you can't argue with free, right? And if you see the livery that's on it right now, you can unlock that livery by logging in sometime this week for your normal Comet Safari if you have it right now. So as far as the new vehicle that came out today, that was the Rune Saba. It's an off-road class vehicle, cannot be used in races. It's amphibious, which means you can drive on water like a boat. It has decent armor, it can survive 13 homing missiles from the Oppressor Mark II before it blows up. It has semi-bulletproof glass, kind of like the MOC. It's only like a few shots and it kind of breaks right away. You can store people in the back, people can get in the back there. And it has no weapons at all, which kind of sucks. And you can't throw sticky bombs out of it, you can only shoot normal guns like an AP pistol and stuff like that. Which kind of sucks in that department. And when you get shot from vehicles that have missiles, it likes to bounce around a lot. I mean, it just flips over to the side, or it flips and turns around. So once somebody starts shooting you once, you can't get out of it. You're stuck there, and they'll keep shooting you and shooting until you die. So it kind of sucks in that regard. But I know other people will say, oh, it's worth it to me. If it's worth it to you, that's all you. If you have the money, go for it. But in general, my opinion, I don't feel it's worth over $2 million. Not having any weapons and stuff like that. Alright, so to start off with the property discounts, we have 35% off the nightclubs and nightclubs upgrades and the renovations. So let's say if you want to maybe change some of the options you had before or move to another nightclub location, maybe add some nightclub floors or garages, now's a good time to do that. We also have 35% off the casino penthouse and the upgrade slash renovations as well for that. Other than the casino missions, I really don't see too much of a need to purchase a casino penthouse, but if you've been wanting one, I guess now you can get it at a decent price. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 25% off the following vehicles. The Rampant Rocket. This bike is pretty useless and is very slow, so I don't recommend it. You can watch my customization video on it and review. I didn't really like it, and if you hit something you fly off, and it's not that great. The Zeroso also is 25% off. This car was added in recently. It's not very good performance-wise, putting itself somewhere in the middle of the pack. Only buy it if you like the way it looks, but performance-wise, if you're expecting to buy it and be super competitive in supercar races and beat people, it's not really going to happen. The Krieger also on sale. This is in the top 2 best all-around supercars around tracks. This is one of the ones that's right up there, if not the best. It has ridiculous top speed with the track car handling, good acceleration, and very stable because of its all-wheel drive, so it's super easy to drive. I highly recommend this one if you don't have one already. The Krieger was on the casino podium back in November or so I'm sure a lot of you have it already, but if you don't, I guess now you can get it for a decent price. Locust is also on sale. I've honestly lost count as to how many times they put this thing on sale at this point, but it's been quite a lot to say the least. This car is in a sports class. It's not very fast. Definitely not worth its price tag in my opinion. It's way overpriced. The Amorous is also on sale. This is the car that competes with the Krieger that is also on sale that I mentioned earlier. These two closely compete back and forth depending on the track. I personally prefer the driving feel of the Amorous because it's rear-wheel drive and takes a little more skill to drive, but it's very rewarding in the way it drives them and it's just amazing. This one has not been on the casino podium yet, but I think it will be eventually, so I definitely recommend holding off on buying it if you're one of those people that always gets one of the new casino podium vehicles. The Neo is also on sale. This was the first ever casino podium vehicle. This car is in the sports class, and I just love the way it looks and the customization as well, but it's just way too expensive and cannot keep up with a prior GTO, not really justifying its price too much performance-wise. The Paragon R is also on sale. This is a good looking car with decent customization and under $1 million, which is quite surprising for what you're getting. The only bad thing is that Rockstar put it in the sports class instead of the coupes class, which I would have personally preferred. So it's pretty useless performance-wise in comparison to the Pariah and GTO. So you can see the main discounts on the Legendary website were mainly kind of the old casino update, drip feed, and day one release cars. So pretty interesting there. Moving on to the Southern San Andreas website, we have 25% off the Peyote Gasser. This car was the last drip feed vehicle from the casino update. It is in the muscle cars class and isn't very fast in the muscle cars class, even losing to a normal Dominator you can get off the street for free. The Zion Classic is also on sale. This car is in the Sports Classics class and it's pretty awful performance-wise as you can imagine, but this car is more for style and being a nice garage queen, which is why I still have mine. If you're a fan of 80s BMWs, this is definitely a good purchase in my opinion. We have some bigger discounts here with a whopping 40% off the SE Sport. I highly recommend this one. It is the best sports car for rally races because of how quick it is on dirt and its impressive handling. And on top of that, in some races where there are barely any straights, this car can actually beat the Pariah and GTO because of its godlike handling. This car handles so well that for most corners you don't even have to brake. You just let off the throttle a little bit and that's it. It takes the corner super smoothly. It handles like a full-on track car. It's just very impressive. Obviously it just lacks the power to keep up with a Pariah or GTO on a straight line, but this car's main point is the handling. So in some of those races where it's extremely handling focused and barely any speed, that's where the SE Sport, that's one of the ones you want to pick for that. It's very good. I highly recommend this one, especially with that 40% discount. We have 40% off the SE Classic. This car is in the compacts class. It's relatively cheap and has good customization, but sadly the slow handling flags make it super annoying to drive. You take a corner, if you go over a mild bump and the car just dies, it's just really annoying. I'm sure many of you have experienced the slow handling flags. It's just really annoying and I wish Rockstar would just take it away, but it's still in the game, so we kind of have to factor that in. And lastly, we have 25% off the car 4x4. This truck is very good for off-roading and decently priced, but the Camacho is still a much better choice performance-wise and is half the price, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the Twitch Prime discounts for Twitch Prime members only. I will leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Twitch Prime member if you aren't one already. So the discount for this week is an extra 10% off the vehicles I mentioned earlier, and the free arcade business up in Paleto Bay. They've had the same free arcade business for 3 weeks in a row now, so you can get that one for free if you are a Twitch Prime member. Moving on to the double money stuff, we have double money and RP on the Adversary mode missile base and the Adversary mode bunker. And if you're more of a free mode person, the free mode events are now offering triple money and RP for this week. So, you know, the ones like Hunt the Beast, the speed one, all those types of ones, they all offer triple money and RP for this week only. That's actually pretty decent and gives some good payouts depending on the event. You know, some of them pay like 50 grand or so. I think Criminal Damage pays 50,000 depending on how populated the lobby is. So you multiply that times 3, you can get over $100,000 easily, so that's very impressive. As far as the festive stuff, there are still Christmas trees in most of your properties and snow and online at the time I'm recording this, but I believe today is the last day for the snow, so I guess we'll see if it disappears tomorrow on the 3rd. And lastly, of course, we have the RC Bendito Time Trial Construction Site 1. This week's normal time trial is LSIA 2. And this week's premium race is the motorcycle race Art to Art. I recommend either the Shotaro, Hakatsu Drag, or the Batty 801 can kind of compete with it, and it's only like 18 grand for that race. So, good ones there. Anyways, guys, hope this was helpful. Maybe there's a vehicle you're interested in getting. Let me know down below in the comments, and Happy New Year to all of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.